Shalom. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakah Kodesh, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS who are true leaders of Israel today, and salutations to all of the Akim who do this work in truth and sincerity, who are risking their lives and their freedoms to do so, as well as the scattered Israelites who come looking like the heathen, but are not, by way of their forefathers' seeds who are Israelite men. The true name of the Most High is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahushai, and the Lord's holy chosen people are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as are the ones who are suffering under the curses in the book of Deuteronomy. My name is Akalio, and this video is about the very beautiful times that we're in for those who are of the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. Okay, and I just seen this video, Iran war, now the biggest oil disruption in history. But before I get into it, because as I open up the YouTube, I seen this short posted by the brother, the Hopeful Elect 3, and I had a nice and good laugh. All right, so I'm gonna play this video first, man.
I wonder what kind of bullshit he's gonna do tomorrow.
Every day is a fresh new hell. Every day we all think the same thing. It's been 13 months of hell. You as an American think this way, imagine us Latinos. I literally do that every morning. I wake up, look at my phone and think, hold on, it's a little quick. And wondered, what has happened? What has happened? Well, it's more like, what is happening? It's the end of the kingdom of the Edomites, man. You so-called white people, it's the end of your kingdom. And it is a very joyful thing unto those of us of the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. Our people who don't believe, the wicked unbelieving of our people, the unfaithful. This is a terror unto them. But for us in this truth, right? The prophets of Yahweh Shemishai and the men, women, and children that believe, this is a very joyful moment for us. We have been patiently awaiting these days to come, and they are finally here. The very defining moments of the end of Esau's kingdom, which is great judgment that is coming to the world from Yahweh Shemishai. All right, this world is going to end in a very chaotic fashion, and when I say this world, I'm talking about the period of the rulership of the Edomites. The Greek word aeon I'm referring to in Matthew chapter 24 and verse 3, right? When it says the word world there, when you go into the Greek, it says the Greek word aeon, which is a period, time, and age. So I'm talking about the end of the age of the rulership of the Edomites, which Yahweh Shemishai is going to tear them down, man. And this is what we're witnessing right now, the downfall of their kingdom. So this is a very joyous thing for us to see, man. All right, the prophets have been prophesying these things for decades upon decades upon decades. And now the Lord has brought the time where Esau is at his end. And the scriptures say in Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12, therefore rejoice ye heavens and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil, talking about the so-called white man, the Edomites, those that are in rulership today, is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So he's coming with great wrath, man. All of these things, are going to be happening back to back to back. The scriptures say that the plagues are not slack, and it's likened unto a woman in childbirth in the 9th month. So Yahweh Shemishai is in full and absolute control, and Yahweh Shemishai is controlling Esau. Esau is the Lord's sword, and that sword is being activated, all right, to bring about great chaos to this world, which Esau then, right, from their point of view, this chaos that they're bringing is to usher in their new world order, which is all about bringing in that microchip on a mandatory level. In order to survive in society, people are going to be required to have a microchip in order to eat, in order to buy things, in order to gain any kind of services this world has to offer. This is where it's all heading towards. So they're bringing great chaos to the world so that they can establish their new order. This is what's going on, man. All right, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. He knows his time is short. It's coming to an end. The scriptures say that his bounds are appointed that he cannot pass. All right, his kingdom was always set to expire. Esau received a blessing, which was the fatness of the earth, the dew of heaven, and by the sword will he rule. But that was only always a temporary blessing given unto him by our forefather Isaac. And now that temporary blessing is at its end. Esau's finished. All right, so he's going to be acting like the wild creature that he is in these last days and going buck wild. And the warning has been going out from Yahweh Shemishai unto the children of Israel to repent, because great judgment is coming. And now we are in those times. Every day we wake up in hell. How is every day a year long? Laugh out loud, I'm so exhausted mentally, a lot. Things going on every night, bro, every night, and he's dragging us. Thought it was just me, I found my people. This is a scary nightmare that goes on and on. Same hell, different day. I don't like this timeline. Me crying in my sleep while praying for the flood from Genesis to come back. Interesting mention, because guess what? The second death is coming, which is going to be America destroyed by thermonuclear fire, right? And our people who are not of the elect of the nation of Israel in America are going to feel that death by way of fire and take part in the lake of fire. 2/3 of our people, according to Zechariah chapter 13 and verse 8, right? And you Edomites, man, y'all are crying now. But this is it for you. It will not get any better. It's actually going to get far worse for you when it is that Yahushua returns. So in these last final moments in your kingdom, y'all ought to just live it up, man. Live it up. Do the Edomite things that you do, because it's not going to get any better for you. Right? Can we just have one day off? Accurate. Every single night, every day. All right, so great judgment is coming, man. And speaking back on the flood that came, right? The flood was that first death by way of the water, but the second one is going to be by way of flame, thermonuclear destruction upon America. All right, and these are some very serious times that we're in, okay? In Revelation chapter 6 and verse 8, it says, "And I looked, and behold, a pale horse," talking about Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. "And his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth," talking about America, the fourth part of the earth, "to kill with sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth." So great and terrible things are coming, and judgment. All right, and this is the time at hand. Okay? Now, the famine is coming. And this World War III situation, which will eventually lead up to Armageddon, right, is going to bring a lot of economic distress and chaos to the world, worldwide. Okay? Iran war, now the biggest oil disruption in history. Let's take a little listen.
Soaring. West Texas crude now hovering around $100 a barrel. You can see this chart over time. The last time it was this high was when Russia invaded Ukraine, and that height was at June of 2022. But I want you to look at the very end of this chart, an almost vertical increase over the last 2 weeks, an incredibly quick rise over a very short period of time. It could get even higher, experts say, by the end of March, maybe even $150 a barrel if travel through the Strait of Hormuz does not start flowing again.
The effects are already being felt. I was listening to a conversation between some friends of the world that are residing in America, and one of them in Florida, he asked the one that's in New York City, "What's the gas prices looking at? What's going on there?" And he mentioned the price. I don't remember exactly what it was, but the friend in Florida, when he heard the price quoted by the friend in New York, the friend in Florida was like, "Wow, that's really high." And the friend in New York was like, yeah, it's getting really bad. All right, and things are just gonna keep getting worse, man. All right, and the oil prices and the oil situation will lead to the increase of the price of goods and inflation, and all leading towards famine. And then Yahweh Shai is also going to be unleashing pestilences upon the world. We're in that time, man, that Yahweh Shai spoke about in Matthew chapter 24, right? When Yahweh Shai said, the disciples asked Yahweh Shai, you know what, I have to get it. I have to get it. All right, Matthew 24 and verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? The end of the world. I mentioned this earlier, all right, but we can have the visual look. World, G165, is the Greek word aeon, which says a period of time and age. So the end of the world referring to the end of the rulership of the Edomites, these so-called white people. It is when the Edomites are in rulership that Yahushua is going to return. The scriptures say that Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So the end of Esau's kingdom is the beginning of our kingdom. This is the time when Yahushua is going to be returning. All right. In this period of time, he's seconds away, okay, from his point of view up in the heavens. So I'm going to go to verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. And we've been in that time for several years. We've been in that time. Now we're past that. Okay, and now we're here. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And so this is what's happening now. Them rising up against one another, the heathen. Okay? And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. So this is the period of time we're in. So the earthquakes are a very frequent occurrence and have been a very frequent occurrence. The earthquakes are a sign of the end. The scriptures say to measure the time diligently. And two of the signs that the Lord told us to look at were the earthquakes and also the uproars of the people around the world, which were the protests, right? And those protests have been going on and on and on for years upon years upon years. One of the years in the 2020s, RT deemed that year the year of protests, right? The uproars of the people around the world. And why are the people protesting? The scriptures say that when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. So the wicked beareth rule, who are the Edomites, these so-called white people. That's why all these protests have been going on. All right, and more will continue to go on. And it's going to reach to an even worse level of a sedition among men, as the scriptures say in 2 Ezra chapter 15. Okay? Times are about to get really, really, really hard out there. And, you know, it looks like it's coming in very, very quickly. All right? And so the times are going to be so terrible that, as the scriptures say, that the days shall be shortened for the sake of the elect, to paraphrase. The Lord is going to shorten the days. All right, but given the times that we're in now, this Matthew 24 and verse 7, the nations rising against nation, the earthquakes. Out here in Jamaica, another earthquake was felt this morning, right? And just a few days ago, an earthquake hit. And just a few days before that, I believe an earthquake hit. What's happening right now in Jamaica is that we're starting to feel tremor after tremor after tremor. Now, this isn't a normal occurrence for Jamaica, all right? Around the world, you have certain places like Japan that just be getting hit regularly, you know what I'm saying? And various other places around the world, but out here in Jamaica, it hasn't been a common occurrence, but now in these last and final days, we're feeling tremor after tremor after tremor, all right? Which, you know, Jamaica, there potentially might just be a very big earthquake to hit Jamaica very soon. Okay, because to my knowledge, if the knowledge is correct, I do believe that a succession of tremors happening over a period of time can lead to a major earthquake, and the earthquake is a sign of the end. All right, so given the times that we're in, the earthquakes, common occurrence, the nation rising against nation, kingdom against kingdom happening right now. So guess what's coming up next? The famine. Yeah. And the Lord is going to unleash the pestilences, true pestilences, that are going to ravage the world, ravage the people. You see what I'm saying? All right, and it's not just pestilence, it's pestilences, it's multiple plagues and diseases that the Lord is going to unleash upon the world. We're heading into some very devastating times, and if you do not have the protection from Yahweh Shemishai, you are through. And firstly, that protection is given only unto the children of Israel, as we are the Lord's holy chosen people. Salvation is only for us, the promise is only for us, everything is only for us. But even of our people, there is a remnant to be saved, who is the elect of the nation of Israel, for who, or for whom, whatever the English is, right? These videos really are for, to build and edify and to, be a watchman, right? Observing the times, bringing out what's going on around the world. Okay? So, we're in this time now, man. All right? So, the famine and the pestilences are coming. But you see, this famine, our people, hurricane happens, earthquakes happen, wildfires happen, all kinds of things happen. And, Jake goes back to what Jake is doing. You know what I'm saying? But you see, when this famine kicks in, it's going to take it to a whole other level, man. Okay? And we are, in fact, in Jacob's trouble. The elder apostle Tahar declared that months ago, that we are in Jacob's trouble. All right? But we're going to be heading into the peak of Jacob's trouble very soon. Jeremiah 30 and verse 4. And these are the words that the Lord Yahweh spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah, talking to the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom of the nation of Israel respectively. For thus saith the Lord Yahweh, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. All faces are turned into paleness. You know what kind of level of fear that is? Because they have different varying levels of fear. The kind of fear where people are just watching a horror movie of sorts, right? And they jump. Or they turn a corner and they see somebody suddenly and they jump. Or something frightful happens and they jump. Or, they scream or they shout or, whatever it is. But there's also a level of fear where they say that, they have a saying in this world where they say, wow, it looks like you've just seen a ghost, because all of the blood rushes away from the face. You see what I'm saying? It's like a petrifying kind of fear where you can't even move. This is the kind of fear that Yahweh Shemishah is going to be bringing en masse in these last days. All right? Where people are going to be so afraid that they're going to be petrified. They're not even going to be able to move. Faces turned into paleness. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. So it's a time of Jacob's trouble, man. All right, and who shall be saved out of it? The elect of the nation of Israel. All right. So, a time like never before upon us as a nation, man. And we as a nation have gone through some very horrible and terrifying things. But this is the worst yet. So, when it is that Jacob's trouble hits its peak, it's going to be crazy out there, man. Okay? So, oh boy. Let me go back to the video. The YouTube tends to do that. If you don't go back to it, it will reset.
Have you ever noticed that the oil prices soaring? West Texas crude now hovering around $100 a barrel. You can see this chart over time. The last time it was this high was when Russia invaded Ukraine, and that height was at June of 2022. But I want you to look at the very end of this chart, an almost vertical increase over the last 2 weeks, an incredibly quick rise over a very short period of time. It could get even higher, experts say, by the end of March, maybe even $150 a barrel if travel through the Strait of Hormuz does not start flowing again. That flow of oil through that critical waterway has effectively ground to a halt. It's only a 20-mile stretch of sea between Iran and Oman, and actually only a 2-mile wide sea lane. The president shrugged off the rise in oil prices, calling it a very small price to pay for USA and world.
Look at this. Short-term oil prices regarding the inflation of the oil prices, right? Which will drop rapidly when the destruction of the Iran nuclear threat is over. So he's saying that once it is that they demolish Iran, then the prices are going to go down. Uh-oh. Because according to Bible prophecy, America loses the war. They don't destroy Iran. You see what I'm saying? According to the scriptures, America loses. And what's going to happen, according to Ezekiel chapter 38, is that Russia is set for a defense for its allies, a guard onto its allies. And Iran, which is mentioned as Persia there, is Russia's ally. So Russia is going to defend Iran in due time. So when you connect the dots together, we really are in those times, man. Because America's not going to destroy Iran. You see? So the oil prices will only continue to rise. And the chaos is going to come in. You see what I'm saying?
Safety and peace. CNN's Matt Egan is with us now. In these prices we've seen.
And you know what? Let me get what I just said. All right, Joel. Joel chapter 2 and verse 20. But I will remove far off from you the northern army, talking about America, and will drive him into a land barren and desolate. This is the land of Saudi Arabia, with his face toward the east sea, the Euphrates river, and his hinder part toward the utmost sea, the Red Sea. And his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he hath done great things. All right, so the war is going to happen over there in the so-called Middle East, which is actually Western Asia. And as you can see, it's happening right now, right? Okay, so the scriptures say that they're going to lose. Their stink shall come up, and their ill savor shall come up, because he hath done great things. All right, the scriptures also say, in which this prophecy has been fulfilled, that I'm about to read, least Jeremiah 50 and verse 45. Therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord Yahweh, that he had taken against Babylon, which is America, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock, talking about the Israelis, shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. So this prophecy has been fulfilled, where the state of Israel has drawn out America to go to war, right? But it says, surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. So they are going to lose that war against Iran and those in that alliance with Russia and those of the BRICS nations, right? So when Trump is talking about how the prices will go down once it is that the Iran nuclear threat is done away with, that's not going to happen. So things are only going to get worse. You see what I'm saying? From an economic standpoint, we're at the end of Esau's kingdom, man.
Is with us now. In these prices we've seen overnight, the sharp increase, more than 10% in one day, Matt. That's pretty staggering.
Yeah, it is absolutely staggering. Look, oil prices are going through the roof. And you know, oil is a notoriously boom to bust market. But even by those standards, this is just a historic spike. Look at this. Oil prices 9 months ago, all the way on the left side of your screen. That was the last time there were tensions with Iran and a conflict. And that looks like just a tiny increase compared to what's going on now. Before the war started, U.S. oil prices were trading at about $67 a barrel.
The U.S. is a rogue nation. Who is the U.S. led by? These so-called white people who are the Edomites, right? Extortive tariffs, Cuba blockade, kidnapping and assassinating world leaders, and now an illegal war with Iran. We have joined the savages. No. You have not joined the savages. You are the savages. You are the Edomites. You're the wicked. Okay? Talking about joining the savages. You are the savages. Okay? You're the ones that your blessing is a sword, and you have robbed, pillaged, and murdered, and destroyed, and committed mass genocide against people. You're the wicked. You're the devil the Bible speaks of, you Edomites, you so-called white people. This is in your nature to be like this. This is who and what you are. This is how Yahweh Shemishai made you. Okay? And the scriptures say, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. Right? To paraphrase. Okay? So that is how you establish your kingdom, man. And right now, we're in that period, the transitionary period from, at the end of your kingdom to the beginning of ours. And you Edomites are starting to feel it because we're in that transition and you're losing your power. Your blessing is at its end. Okay?
Point overnight, they got to $119 a barrel. Now let's look at a live look at oil prices. You can see they have pulled back from that peak just over $100 now. However, 11% increase, a $10 increase of dollar amounts.
There we go. Once the price of groceries goes up, it never goes back down. This fuel price cost us going to raise food prices, of course, leading into famine. All right, because it's going to happen in stages. First, it's going to be like, oh, the inflation and, your purchasing power is decreased. So you're not getting paid more. So you have to allocate your funds in a certain type of way. But eventually it's going to be like, oh, there's no food in the stores. You see what I'm saying? All right. And let me get that. All right. And you see this person mentioning as well, matter of time when prices of goods will go up. All right. The scriptures say, right, what is coming. I'm looking for it in, I believe, Ezekiel. Let's see. I think it's this one. Ezekiel 4 and verse 16. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem, talking to the nation of Israel, and they shall eat bread by weight and with care, and they shall drink water by measure and with astonishment. Right? So it's like a build up towards a famine, right? Where first you're going to have to be taking care of like the amount you're eating, because you're like, oh, you only have this much. That's there, that's around. You know what I'm saying? And then eventually it's going to hit this point, which I do foresee this all happening very quickly back to back. All right, 2 Ezra 6 and verse 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. Right? So the places with food, they're going to suddenly be found empty. And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. So the trumpet is going to give the sound. The announcement is going to be made that there are food shortages, there are famine. They're going to say it's because of the war, because of the situation and everything. Right? At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies. So people are going to be turning against one another, man. Your neighbor that's friendly with you today, they're not going to be friendly with you at that time. It's going to be every man for himself. People are going to stick to their immediate families, and even chaos will happen in between those immediate families. It's going to be terrible times. Okay? And the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. So it's a famine of food and water. So it's going to be really sore. And the scriptures let us know that it's going to be so bad that cannibalism is going to be occurring. People are going to be eating one another. That's how bad it's going to be. Okay? We're heading into some very critical times. Oh, and of course, with all of these terrible times that are happening, Esau is going to tell the people, okay, well, in order to escape these things, in order to, maybe get some food and get some assistance with medical services, because there's the pestilence that's going on as well, right? The diseases and plagues. He's going to say, okay, you have to take this microchip. To be able to escape all of these things, you're going to have to take this microchip. You see? The hour of temptation is coming, man. So, we're in some very critical times. I'll just play a little bit more of this video.
Dollar increase of dollar amounts. At one point this morning, U.S. oil prices were on track for their biggest one-day dollar increase in history. Now, as you mentioned, the problem is the fact that this war has disrupted the supply of oil out of the Middle East. And it's not just that the Strait of Hormuz effective closure is delaying the shipment of oil out of the region. It's the fact that...
Back to the comments. It's going to be worse than most people think. Especially if this continues and Israel continues to push Trump into more and more escalation. If we start attacking Iran's oil infrastructure, it's game over. They will then attack the oil infrastructure in the Gulf. Then we're looking at worldwide economic depression within a year or two. A year or two? With the way that the Lord is speeding things up, man, it's looking like to be this year. This person responds, start? Israel attacked Iranian oil production facilities yesterday, right? So, yeah. Let me see what else the comments is saying. Oh God, it hath begun. Now the next chain is Iran attacking the oil facilities of the Gulf. If they do that in retaliation, it's game over. Millions of people around the world will starve or freeze to death over the next 2 years. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is great to see, man. We've been waiting on these days. You know? The day that we woke up to this truth, those of us of the hopeful elect, we've been waiting patiently for these days, man, to witness the downfall of our enemies, or the Edomites. Alright, so that's what it is. More to come. Alright, with that, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shemishai by Shemaka Kodesh. Shalom.